Hi, this is Jen Rubin, and this is Jen Rubin's Green Room. We are in the final stretch. Only a few days to go. Donald Trump is melting down. It is quite literally garbage time for him. Somehow he got it in his idea that that whole garbage stunt was a great idea. He was going to remind people of something not that Kamala Harris said, but that Biden said, which he may not have said at all. And in any event, Trump's little stunt made him look ridiculous. And when he tried to get the Trump truck, he looked positively feeble. And that, of course, re-raises all the questions about his health, his mental capacity, and everything else. But that wasn't the worst of it. Trump has returned to his central theme, which strangely enough is not racism and immigrants and the great replacement theory. It is women whom he hates. Apparently, he has put his money on the divorced men and the incel vote because he has not stopped insulting women. On Friday, when this is being recorded, he has just envisioned a scene in which Liz Cheney is assassinated. This is someone running for president of the United States. And given the fact that someone tried to assassinate him twice, you'd think he would be a little bit more careful about what he says. But he isn't. He's incapable of controlling himself. He's impulsive. This is what he thinks about women. His rage at Kamala Harris is becoming more evident with each passing day. Before his latest comment about Liz Cheney, of course, he made the statement that he is going to ban abortion, whether women like it or not, which, of course, revisits his mentality that was revealed in the Access Hollywood tape. He's going to grab them, and this is Donald Trump. It is someone who has contempt for women, who has insulted their intelligence, their IQ, their appearance, who doesn't think that they should be able to make decisions for themselves. His own buddies are now freaking out, whether it's online or people like Ben Shapiro, on the notion that women might not tell their husband who they are voting for. What are we, back in the 19th century? Yes, we are back in the 19th century because that's when the anti-abortion rules were made, when women didn't have the vote, when they couldn't own property. That is these guys' ideal time. Make America great again? This was when women were property. And I think they have finally found their comeuppance. What we see in early voting and what we have seen in voter registration since Dobbs, and then again since Kamala Harris became the presidential candidate, is a wave of new women voters. Women are registering in higher numbers. They're voting in higher numbers. Women make up a majority of the electorate anyway. And now Donald Trump, thankfully, has simply magnified that and given women all the more reason to vote, to get them out of the race, to keep them out of the White House, and frankly, to shut them up and send them to jail. I think women would love nothing better than that. So what's the point of all of this? Well, I think there's two things to remember. First of all, there's never a point about Donald Trump. He is impulsive. This is who he is. He's a narcissistic personality. He is hateful. He does have visions of violence. This is who he is. So even if it is terribly destructive to his own future political fortunes, he can't control himself. This is what he does. And secondly, yes, this is a campaign built on this toxic male masculinity, this in your face. White men are tired of getting pushed around. Screw the women, screw the Puerto Ricans, screw everybody. We are whiny victims, and it's time for us to get back at you. What an appealing message. Really? This is the guy who's running for president of the United States? Well, I hope the mainstream media is proud of itself, having conducted a campaign in which they treated up to the very end Donald Trump like some ordinary candidate. Well, on one side, Kamala Harris, on the other side, Donald Trump. You know, Joe Biden said this, whatever it is he said, and, well, so has Donald Trump said bad things. No, there's no comparison. First of all, Donald Trump is running against Kamala Harris, not Joe Biden. And secondly, there is no comparison to the vulgarity, to the hatred, the misogyny that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. And at this point, Republicans have no excuse. They know exactly who he is. If they vote for him, they are voting to enable this kind of discussion and this kind of rhetoric. And imagine if you are president of the United States, how much bigger your megaphone is going to be and how many more people are going to listen to you. We already saw evidence of that. What happened on January 6th? He was able to incite a mob. And if God forbid he were to get into office, he incites violence against individual opponents, political opponents, what do you think is going to happen? This is fascism. This is using the mob to threaten, to intimidate, to incite violence. And this is what Donald Trump is all about. So as horrific as it is, I could not be more pleased that the choice has never been more clear. People have no excuse to vote for this guy. If they're voting for him, they're not voting for taxes. They're not voting for some other great policy. They're voting for this. If they are voting for them, this is what they want. This is what MAGA stands for. And you know what? There are more of us than them. So it's time to win. Get out there and vote. Try to volunteer if you can. There's still volunteer shifts going on. Go out to Western Pennsylvania. That's a place that could use some extra women voters. So keep calm, breathe deeply. I think the work has been done. If everyone turns out as they should, I think maybe not Tuesday night because it's going to take a while to count the votes, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we will have Kamala Harris as our president-elect. Wouldn't that be nice? If you enjoy this program, please tell your friends. They can listen, subscribe to us. They can find this wherever they get their podcasts. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Jen Rubin. I've got great news. I'm going to be appearing live with the one and only George Conway. Yes, at the 92nd Street Y in New York City, November 12th. Get your tickets now. You can go to the 92nd Street Y website, or you can go to politicon.com/tour. It's going to be wild.